And that's what happens.
Yes.
This material that is pushed down under is actually part of wholeness, as our personality can expand to include a wider and wider range of functioning.
Okay.
So
let me tell you about my shadows.
Okay.
my two shadow figures. The earliest shadow figure I developed, because I was so pinched and tweedy and perfect and striving and angry, the anger got pushed down into the unconscious. And I, one afternoon, I think 1952, 53, and around that time, I saw a trampoline clown on television. And this was a guy who they announced the great so-and-so was going to do a trampoline act, and then this guy got out of the audience and he was related to him, and he wasn't coming, and he was going to do it for him. And of course he had the overcoat on and the hat and everything else. And he got up there on the stage and he was doing it all wrong. He got up the ladder, he slid down the ladder. He got his legs caught between the rungs of the ladder. And I started imitating that guy. And this is the guy I became, Dumsy the Clown. It was my first ego-related complex. He gets around. Poor Dumsy can't stand up very well. He in fact, can't do much of anything that the world demands of him very well. Mel Brooks once said that all comedy is rooted in anger, and I think that's quite true, especially when you see the anger in my eyes with which I was unconscious, The clown falls down, he loses his pants, he gets pies all over him. Oh. In other words, the clown can do everything, everybody, your teachers, your parents, etc., make big messes like that, and get a laugh out of it and have a function for it. And this just fascinated me.
Well, but you see, I mean, all of us would like to have a place in our lives, a function in our lives where we can throw pies and fall down and do those things that we can't do in other situations. We have these things in us that need to be lived out somehow, and it sounds like in you, it came out through the clown.
Yep, at first in secret, and then I helped found the Greater Boston Alley of Clowns of America, Alley 54, and performed a little bit there, and that didn't work out as a long-term effort, but I'm hoping to produce some clown videos under Renaissance of Somerville. So that part of my personality definitely has come through.
Yeah.
I mean, I can clown around, I can be relaxed, I can be easy with people, I can make jokes, I can be funny myself. I can sing and dance and do little slap shoe in the office.
The shadow figures that appear in each person's life are actually very personal. I mean, they emerge as a kind of a compensation for whatever the ego adapted for the persona that's put before the world. So for each person, it can really be different. You know, for some people, being the really straight guy is what's been repressed.
Yes,
right. I mean,
exactly. And you get the hoodlums and you know, the antisocial personality has a decent, good, helpful, loyal, kind, and brave shadow.
Right.
And there's quite a mix going on there. You really have to stop and think when you're dealing with the individuals as to what their shadow personalities may be. I developed, when puberty and sexuality came along, I developed a second ego-related complex, a shadow, that contained that sexuality mainly because of the teachings of the church at that time. I was in parochial school, and we got a very heavy dose of negativity surrounding sexuality, or at least I did in my own perceptions. So I developed this character called Stud, and that's one of my drawings right there. It was done in probably early 1970s. This kind of person could express everything that I couldn't in that pinched and tweedy mode. And
he's the opposite of pinched and tweedy.
He's the opposite of pinched and tweedy. He's out there, he's doing things, and in fact, I thought this kind of guy had it made all my life. Until recently.
So, well,
go ahead.
in people's dreams, you see these kind of figures, clowns, stud guy, very common thing. And so Jung said that the shadow, of course, initially everything is in shadow. All is consciousness, and sort of not aware of these other things going on inside yourself. As time develops, though, the sort of the description of the shadow would be whenever you dream of a figure of the same gender, so for you it'd be a man.
It's the same sex figure,
and
always.
About the same generation, the same age that you are. So it's not a young person that you're dreaming of. It's not an old person that you're dreaming of. A person in your generation. And we would start off in a dream thinking about what that has to do with the shadow in a person.
Well, I now know. I've integrated both of these personalities, and I'm more aggressive, and I'm more, you can't do this to me, you're not going to get away with this, or I'm not aggressive, I'm not aggressive as a person, but I now know enough to draw the line.
Well, that's, I mean, that's...
And that's part of, this is what Jung meant when he said it contains good qualities.
Right. Well, that's the integration.
Acceptably expressed.
The integration of the shadow, I mean, the loss, not integrating it, right?
Right.
Means that for a person to live those qualities, they have to be split off someplace else. They have to be secret, like you said that, you know, you were when you started your clown. That's the great loss, because you're always in the straight and narrow. You're always doing the thing that you learned to do at a certain age. Integrating the shadow means, instead of splitting it off and doing it secretly, somehow you find a way for because that is you. It is your personality.
Yes. These are definitely my personality. It's just the qualities my ego judged negative.
The ego pushed it out. And so the integration that can occur later in life is for those qualities to come through right in everyday life.
Right. Exactly.
That I can be funny without having to put on my clown makeup.
I could sit here tonight without the clown makeup on,
right,
and talk to you and perform for the television cameras, and it's okay for the first time in my life. So there's a big deal going on here, above and beyond this is sort of a synthesis of the performer, of the clown, etc. When I did a connection, investment of psychological energy in that trampoline clown, and then began to imitate. The process in Jungian psychology is called projection, and the process of projection is really quite simple. In my estimation, your body and physical senses are the slide projector, as a regular slide projector. Well, maybe we don't do slide projectors anymore in 1990, but anyway, we did when I was a kid, and the slide projector is your body, okay? And the slide is a physical quality, a physical, mental, emotional, otherwise, that you deny in yourself. And what happens is you see it out there in other people. Like I saw my sexuality out there in clown, in this type of, I mean, not in clown, but in stud. I saw my joie de vivre, my love of life, out there in the clown. And the persona I was putting forward as Pinched and Tweedy was very enclosing, so that these energies had to come out somewhere. The love of life came out in clowns, and the here and now, sexuality, sensation, this kind of sensation, touching things, came out in stud. And you have a comment to make, I could tell.
Projection is, it's like the water that we live in. I mean, it's everything we do.
That's right.
In a sense, because something that is unconscious, something that you're unaware of, and that means it's not related to the ego, like we were talking before, you can't experience it as being, oh, this is something that I am having, this is something that is happening to me. You experience it as your reactions and relationships to things outside. In other words, if I can't feel my own anger, right? Let's say
Which I couldn't.
I can't feel it at all, right?
Right.
I'll say, boy, you know, look at that guy over there being angry, you know, and there might be 20 guys on the street.
Yeah.
But that's the guy that I'll focus on and will draw my attention and my interest and
Right.
psychic energy, like you
and
were
your own anger.
talking about before. Because something in me recognizes that anger unconsciously. But that's the projection.
Exactly.
It happens between men and women all the time. It happens at work. It happens at school.